All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Chaos Zero Nightmare video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the two character showcases that CZN went ahead and dropped on their YouTube channel. One for Luke, one for Magna. It appears that they might be doing this for all the 5 stars, possibly some 4 stars, but it appears to be, as of right now, just the 5 stars leading up to the official release on October 22nd, which is pretty cool in my opinion. It provides some hype, it provides some content for us to go ahead and do until the release happens. So I'm all about it. We're going to be taking a look at both of the videos, and then we're going to head over to Pride Win. Massive shout out to them. I'll leave it linked in the description down below. Take a look at the kit or the cards for these two characters, so that way you get a better idea of what they're doing. So we're gonna go and hop into it, but before we do, a few things. First and foremost, if you enjoyed today's video, you get some value from it, drop a like, sub if you're new, join the FPG fam. I would love to have you stick around, as well as hit the hype button for me. It's somewhere around there. When you find it, hit it for me. It helps out the channel tremendously. And then secondly, a massive shout out to the sponsor of the channel, lootbar.gg. If you're looking to top up in the game and you want to spend less money, go ahead and use my link in the description down below. You're going to be able to save, and it helps out the channel. I do truly appreciate it. I know there are some hot characters that have just dropped in, like Wuthering Waves. Galbrina's coming out very soon. Zenless Zone Zero, we got Lucia, who's an incredible character that's going to be dropping here relatively soon as well. Or if you just want to top up in general to get ready for some characters that are going to be coming out here in the near future, make sure to use my link in the description down below. Once again, you're going to save, you're not paying full price, so that helps you out, and once again, it helps your boy out if you want to support the channel a little bit further. So go ahead and hit that link in the description down below and save on your top-ups, especially if you plan on topping up anyways. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop into the first video. Thank you all for the support. I really do appreciate it. Let's take a look at Luke and what this man is doing and his animations and whatnot. First and foremost, it's a bop. Secondly, his VA is incredible. But these sound effects are incredible in this game. Even like the most minor things that he's doing, the sound effects are off the charts. Love the sound effects. That's my Uchiha right there. Luke is just a cool character. Freaking takes you to a different dimension and goes awarida. Such a cool character. Absolutely cool character. So that is Luke right there. Once again, of the order class, a hunter, so just a main damage dealer. We'll take a look at the information here in just a second. Let's take a look at Magna. Magna's another really cool character. Let's see what she's up to. The VA's knocked it out of the park. So Justice in a Vanguard, so she's gonna be a tank of the Justice faction. VAs are insane. Very cool. So we'll see in just a second. She's all about the crystallization mechanic and counterattacking. Absolute zero. I cannot stop glazing the VAs. I'm sorry, I'm gonna stop glazing them. They just did a really good job. What can I say? They just did a really good job. Both Luke and Magna's VAs off the chart, man. Give them a raise. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at now Luke's kit first, or his cards, and then we'll take a look at Magna's. Once again, massive shout out to Pride Win for this information. So single shot, deal 100% damage. Once again, Luke is going to be like a main damage dealer. So when you're building a team around him, obviously he's going to be the one really popping off for you. But you can have some decent synergy with other characters that are always that are also going to help them or enable them. But let's take a look. So shadow concealment, gain 100% shield. Once again, these are pretty standard when it comes to your starting cards or basic cards. Rapid fire, deal damage equal to 50% times 2. Create handgun bullets equal to the number of critical hits. Critical chance 15%. So this is going to be important because there are specific partners, which we could do a separate video on partners that help boost your critical chance or your critical hits. So this is going to be very important for Luke when you're building him up, especially if you're once again trying to make him your main damage dealer and to be able to do the most damage for you. Unique cards, stealth reload, create 2 handgun bullets. So you're going to see that this is going to be a theme or a mechanic when it comes to his kit. Seize the opportunity, lead, gain 100% shield, increase damage of the next bullet card by 120%. So at the start of turn, a 50% chance to reduce the card's cost by 1. It's really good. Effect removed when another card is used. Shield using 30% of the combatant's defense stat. So that's really nice, right? Being able to reduce the cost of the card by 1, albeit it's a bit of a gamble, but 50%, you know, that's not too bad. Dance of the Demon. So this is another attack card. Deal 100% damage, deal 50% damage for each bullet card used this turn. It's really nice actually. So you can really ramp that up. Each bullet card, create 2 handgun bullets. So if you use both of these, I mean, this can get up to what, 200% for 1 cost. That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. And I'm now noticing that he has some low cost cards, which is really nice. Like I'm seeing 1s. I don't see any 2s or 3s, and so a lot of 0s. So you're really going to be able to pump out a lot of cards and do a lot of damage without it costing a lot. Now, unfortunately, I should have said this in the beginning. I didn't have any hands-on experience with Luke or Magna, so I'm kind of reading these for myself for the first time as well. So if I'm taking a little bit more time to understand these cards, that's probably the reason. Actually, that is the reason. All right, moving on. Deadly Rounds, another 1 cost card. Deal 100% damage, increase damage by 40% equal to the number of bullet cards used this turn. So that's another one. I mean, if you have Deadly Rounds and Dance of the Demon in your hand, depending on the do the handgun bullets, do they cost? I'd imagine they do cost maybe 1. It would depend. Like, well, if you, so you could maybe do some sneaky plays, like for example, seize the opportunity. If you're able to play this and hit that 50% chance, and you could reduce one of these cards to 0, I mean, you could see where you can have some sneaky plays, some 500 IQ plays where you could dump out some pretty good damage with him. I could see that happening, right? All right, moving on to generated cards. Magnum shot, deal 70% damage. If this card is in the hand at the end of the turn, exhausted when this card is used, it moves to the exhaust pile. Okay. Silver shot, deal 50% damage when attacking weakness, increase damage by 100%. Not bad. Uranium shot, geez, we're just upping the elementals, right? Deal 50% damage if the target has shield, increase damage by 100%. This is going to be a good one. I can already see this card being a good one. I like that one. Deal 30% damage, apply 1 mark. The mark is going to probably allow you to do more damage. Oh, an extra attack, dealing a percentage, reduce mark by 1, deal 0 tenacity baseline. So it's going to allow you to do an extra attack. That's pretty good. And then high velocity AP around, deal 200% damage, guaranteed critical hit, 0 cost. This is an insanely good card. So as you can see, he's just pumping out damage, right? There's not much else going on. You're going to want to go ahead and make sure you're getting his critical hit as high as possible. Creating handgun bullets. Those are then going to in turn be able to allow you to hit harder. You can synergize with seize the opportunity to probably pop off a little bit more. And then depending on what you have here, I mean, Tracer is going to allow you to do an extra attack. Uranium shot doing more damage towards shielded enemies. If they're weak to, I'm assuming that's if they're weak to order, the order attribute, you're going to be able to do some more damage. So some pretty decent stuff in here, right? Nothing that jumps off the page like broken. It all seems pretty balanced to me, in my opinion, in terms of a damage dealer. And then the ego skill, deal 250% damage plus 15% damage for each card in your hand. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I could see, ooh, I could see this being really nice with a Cassius, because it doesn't say like each Luke card in your hand, right? It just says each card in your hand. So if you have a Cassius who's able to draw tons of cards and you kind of max that out to a degree, and then you pop this ego skill could hit pretty hard. So not bad. I could see some really good plays with that. And then really quickly, just looking at the potentials, basic card, shield, neutral card damage, shield gain, healing amount, add bullet to single shot card. Which one was single shot? Silver shot, uranium shot, magnum shot, single shot, 100% damage. Oh, that's not bad. So you're gonna add a bullet to that one, the basic card. That's good. 2% critical chance. If Luke's critical chance is greater than 40%, you can already see that being the case. 3% in terms of you wanting to build up his critical rate. I should have said 3% handgun bullet damage for every 5% critical chance exceeding that value, an additional 2%. So you're going to want to get his critical rate as high as possible. Once again, a partner is going to be probably important here for that. And then critical damage, 2.4% critical damage. And then 5% Luke's single shot damage. If Luke's critical chance is greater than 20%, an additional 5% to that value. So get his critical rate high, be able to do more damage, essentially. Pretty straightforward, right? And then if you get dupes, you know, things could probably get pretty nutty. You know, 5-star standard, you might get some dupes here. Yeah. Actually, there's a high chance you can get dupes of the way they went ahead and altered, you know, their whole gacha system and everything to a degree. There's a good chance you can get a couple dupes here for them. So you can take a look at that. Anyways, now we're gonna go ahead and move over to Magna. I don't want this video to be too terribly long, so we're gonna go ahead and jump over here really quickly. Now Magna is a character that I'm pretty excited for, in my opinion. Like, Luke's really cool, but I think Magna is gonna be just a little more valuable because Luke is just simply a damage dealer without any type of like utility within his kit that's going to help the team out to any degree, you know, providing shields, heals, AP points back, nothing like that. But Magna, on the other hand, can provide shields as a vanguard, being tanky, but also be able to do damage with counterattacks. Let's take a look at the kit. So we got the basic stuff, right? Damage, shield. Now keep in mind it is defense based damage. Now moving over to Ice Fragment, gain 2 crystallization stacks at the start of the turn, gain 1 counter. Pretty cool. 50% chance to reduce the card's cost by 1. Effect removed. Okay, at the end of the turn, gain 20% fixed shield. So that's the crystallization effect. Gain 20% fixed shield. So every time you end your turn, you're gaining some shield, which is always a good thing. And then counter, when taking damage, inflict defense based damage 100% on the attacker. If the attack is completely blocked with shield, inflict defense based damage 150%. Counterattack -1 when the effect triggers. Not bad at all. Moving over to Glacial Iron Fist. So those are the starting cards. They may be missing some, right? There might not be all of them here. So we'll just move over to the unique cards. Glacial Iron Fist, deal 150% defense based damage. Gain fixed shield equal to 50% of damage dealt. Pretty good, right? Shield using 30% of the combatant's defense stat. You want to make sure you get her defense up. Ice Wall, gain 100% shield, gain 2 counters for 1 turn. Counter applies to all enemies. Hey yo, that's AoE when taking damage, inflict defense based damage 100% on attacker. Is that AoE? That's an AoE counter. That Ice Wall is pretty nutty if that's the case. I like that. I like that a lot. Frost Charge, you gain 100% shield, apply 2 vulnerable stacks to all enemies. So this is what I'm talking about when it comes to utility, right? You can see now that Magna's doing a lot more than Luke. Once again, Luke, main DPS, that's what he's there for. That's what you're going to use him for, right? But with Magna, on the other hand, you're getting a lot more value, in my opinion. Just because of all of the things that she's doing. So not only is she's doing damage, but she's giving a lot of shields in many different areas. She has counterattack, which is really nice, and she has AoE. She's now applying vulnerable to all enemies, right? It'd be different if it was like single target, maybe not as valuable, but to all enemies for 1 cost. This is a really good card. So damage taken increased by 50% when triggered, reduced vulnerable by 1. Insane, right? Really good card here for 1 cost. I like that. Paired with Ice Wall, that's gonna be a good combination. Storm of Bitter Cold, when gaining shield from a card, gain 1 counter, and you're basically doing that with all of your cards, so that's something that's gonna happen naturally. So she's countering all the time. You can provide vulnerable, you can provide shields, AoE. Really good stuff for Magna here. And then Absolute Zero, deal 200% defense based damage and reduce counter by up to 5 max. For each counter removed, increase damage by 20% of 200%. Yeah, that's for 5 costs, pretty good. All right, pretty good. You could really ramp that up. So I really like Magna. I think she's going to be incredibly strong, especially early game. For example, if you pulled Magna like at the beginning for like your first 5-star, I think she's going to be insanely valuable for you. I think she's going to carry you a long way because the shields, the counterattack, the vulnerable, the AoE, it's going to be really solid paired with like somebody like a Mika, for example. That combination is going to be really strong. You know, a Mika Nia combo right off the bat. Who else? Cassius is going to be good in that kind of team comp. I'm trying to think of some others. Yeah, I mean, that's right off the bat, that's who I'm thinking. This team right here might be really solid. A Mono Justice team with Magna, Beryl, Mika. I mean, that could be a solid team, but like Nia, Mika, Magna, that could be a really good team as well. Yeah, you have some options. 100% you have some options. I think even Ray, Ray, Magna, Mika might be a solid team. You could definitely do that. Or just pair another main DPS with Magna, have Magna be the sub DPS, pair another main DPS with her, and then just get a nice support. Really good team. Really good team. Really good character. I like her a lot. Anyways, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I'm interested to see what you guys have to say, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Remember to stand out, be different, and have fun. Go further beyond in everything that you do. My name's Cody. Call me further. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.